For this sample, I've already determined what color combinations I would like to use after testing this a few times. And I decided on using a alizarin and olive green. And ochre. And a titanium white. What I'm going to do first is, since I have my reference here, I'm going to look at the darkest color for the skin tone that I can see in the reference. This is not a very good reference. I'm going to have to probably make up some color as I go, and a lot of times when someone gives you a photo to paint from, it's not always a good photo, and sometimes you just have to make do with what you have. So what I'm going to do here is, first of all, I kind of like this dark in here that I've established, this color, and also up in here in the hair. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a large pile of the color with my palette knife, because I want to start with the darks and I want to make a nice dark color with this. And this is what I refer to as the mother color. Okay, it's a nice dark, warm, nice warm dark. Now if I take this color and I put it up here on in some of these darker areas, you can see that this is the color that I'm getting. Okay, the darkest area is being in here, up here around the eyes, along the nose, I have a little bit under the eyes here. And we're definitely going to have some here in this darkest part. You can see that I've already got some of these colors down here to start with, because I was testing these colors to see how I would like the combinations. Now, when I'm working, what I'm going to do, since I'm starting from the dark and going to the light, I'm going to start mixing my color using the mother color as my starting point. There's some more of the mother color here. And I always want to keep some of that mother color on hands, so if I ever need to go back into the painting, I'll always have that available. What I did was I went ahead and did the drawing and everything first, so I could just focus on, for this video, just focus on the color mixing. Okay, that is the darkest part, and if you look at the reference again, what you'll see is, now what it's going to do is, this is the shadow side of the face, and as the shadow moves into the light, you're going to want to make all these areas a little bit lighter. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that mother color, and we're going to start making a value scale like we did with the grays that I showed you earlier. The first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you want to fix the color first. You want to make sure that the color is right before you shift the value. So when you add a light color, such as this, it lightens your mother color without adding white. And then as you can see, this is going to, if you look at this color right here, we're going to start simulating that color just by adding that ochre to make it a little bit lighter. And as I'm going along, I'm noticing that I'm going to want to warm up this color. And in order to warm it up, if I add the alizarin crimson, it's going to get a little bit too dark. And this is where the face is turning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of cadmium red light. And as you can see, as I put the cadmium red light down, you can see that it's lighter than the alizarin. So I can also lighten that mother color with the cad red light. And it also is going to warm it up a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the mother color and I'm starting to expand from the mother color out as I mix the color. So all these colors are going to harmonize at some point. Now I can take this color here to a more extreme orange, more of an orange color, mixing the ochre and the cad red light. And what we'll do is we're going to set this down here and see how we like the transition color. And what I'm doing is I'm turning the form by doing this. So I'm taking this color here and turning the form. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, since this was originally dry, I'm going to take some of that mother color now and blend, make this edge soft where these two come together. Always have paint on your brush when you're doing edges. Okay, now I'm going to take some of this color mixture that I have here. I'm going to start running that down the face here. You can see it's a little bit lighter and a little bit warmer as it turns toward the light. This is a little bit darker down in here. Make these transitions as soft as possible. Since this is an older woman too, a lot of sometimes when you're painting someone that's a little advanced in age, you want to not emphasize the wrinkles. Nobody wants to see their wrinkles. So if you make your wrinkles soft, then what will happen there is it'll still look like the person. You'll still see their age, but it won't be as harsh of a transition. So now you can see, since I have this red here mixed with this ochre, and it gave me that kind of orange color, now that I have the right color, now I can shift the value by just adding a little bit of white. So what I'll do is I'll go into that previous color, gradual lightening, not like thunder and lightning. I can see that there's a little bit of olive, a little bit more tending toward olive a little bit right up in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that mother color now, add a little olive to it, and a little yellow ochre. And I'm going to compare that. I see that it's going to have a little bit more alizarin in it. I want to keep that warm as possible. And you see also that it's going to be soft. Okay, now as it's coming toward this area right here, it's going to start softening again. It's going to get from dark and it's going to go to light. So I'm going to work with a little bit of white in here, a little bit of red to keep it warm. And you see I'm working right from the mother color out in varying stages of value. One of the things that you want to remember to do is try to keep your values. Always be checking your values. And you can check your values by squinting. And I'm sure everyone's by now is familiar with that concept of squinting. If I need a little bit darker, I can go back to that mother color. See, there's a really nice red that's right here, so I'm just going to pop that right on top to add a little bit of life. Okay, now as we get closer to the cheek area, I'm going to add a little bit more white again. And we can just keep lightening this as we go. That's a little bit light. Back down in here. It's a little redder. Okay, now we're going to get back into this. I'm going to make a little pile of this nice golden ochre with ochre and white. Some of these areas a little bit lighter. Now you can see that that's a little bit too light. Always do a little test to make sure that you're keeping your values correct. You can see right here, in this one area right here, we've got quite a bit of bright color. This is what I refer to as the color arc. It's where the light turns to shadow right along that edge. So we want to get that a little bit brighter, more saturated with color. Now you see as these values are relatively the same values, if you squint at them, you can go back and forth, make it a little bit yellower, make it a little bit pinker as you work with those values. Now, I am not blending on the canvas. I'm mixing the color first, and then I'm adding it to the canvas. Just keep getting lighter and lighter, paying attention to where that light is the strongest, and it's going to be the strongest where it's coming into the light. You can just keep bringing out these values until it becomes almost as white as the paper that you're mixing. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching.